What are you talking about?
Let's come clean with the audience on what you're wearing.
Come clean with the audience?
Disgusting.
We have tickets to give away.
You're a Benedict Arnold, disgusting human right now.
We got tickets to give away for the Giants-Lions game later this hour and again in the 3 o'clock hour here on this show. I'm just enjoying a wonderful, little cold Friday afternoon in New York City. Evan,
Yeah.
What are you talking
My
about?
eyes are bleeding looking at the sweatshirt that Craig is now wearing.
I don't know what you're talking about.
What are the words on your sweatshirt there, Benedict?
The words?
Yeah, the words.
Well, one of the words is city.
Okay.
City.
What about the other words?
Of love.
Hopefully the audience can figure it out. Love. City of love.
I'm wearing a brand new sweatshirt, courtesy of my friends at Fanatics.com. It says City of Brotherly Love.
What's wrong with you?
What a wonderful sweatshirt it is.
Dude.
I like the old school font.
Dude.
I like the coloring of it.
Why?
The white is like albino white. I like that.
It is.
Yeah.
The only positive
NBA logo on the wrist.
The only positive to you wearing this sweatshirt is I know the way you eat.
Yeah.
And when the barbecue comes in,
Yeah.
you are going to make a mess of that disgusting sweatshirt.
Gonna take it off.
Oh, come on.
Gonna take it off for that, Ev. Gonna take it off. I told you I thought the logo was fresh, so now I got one. Ooh, it was cold, now it's warm. It was cold, now it's warm. Yeah, it looks good to me too, doesn't it?
You're really just trying to confuse the
let me stand
Philadelphians
up.
around the country who earlier in the week wanted to kill you, and now they see you wearing their swag.
Yeah, I've got a love-hate relationship with that dump. I can say that right now. But I've decided, I needed another job. So I'd like to announce that I have been signed to a 10-day contract as a male model for Fanatics.
Wearing exclusively City of Brotherly Love stuff.
Wearing only non-New York clothing. That's my arrangement.
Today
Listen,
it's City of Brotherly Love. Tomorrow it's the new Dallas Cowboys.
by the way, as soon as that's in, I'm getting one of them too.
Of course.
Yeah, I'm a fashionista, Evan.
I know you are.
I'm a fashionista.
You're a
Yeah.
fashionista, but you're also a sellout.
Yeah.
You can be both, and you are both.
By the way, that's the way it goes.
No, you can no longer claim the mantle of Foo Philly.
Oh, yes, I
and
can.
don't worry about it.
Yeah.
I will now carry the
By the
mantle
way,
moving forward.
as part of my deal with Fanatics,
Yeah.
I'll be making Foo Philly sweatshirts.
Well, that'll help make up for this
How about
disgusting
that?
act.
Now you'd like one of those,
I
wouldn't you?
would. Yes, I would.
Yes. Hey, Tommy, call my guy. Ask him when the Foo Philly sweatshirts are going to be ready.
Dude, that would be a bestseller.
Yeah.
Because that's not just hot.
PHU, Philly, in this style.
That's not just hot here in New York. Our friends in D.C. will get it. Our friends in Dallas will
I
get
know,
it.
it's a big seller.
Even our friends in Atlanta would get that crap.
Yep. So anyway, I just thought I'd put on a new sweatshirt. Test it out.
Well, listen, man, it
By the way,
shows
very stretchable fabric.
it shows the difference between you and I. What am I wearing today?
God knows you're not wearing that old dopey green Old Navy shirt, thank God.
I'm wearing my beautiful old school green Jets sweatshirt.
It's funny. He's not a sellout, though, is he, Big Mac? Is that what I heard?
What's that?
Interesting when every day for a week and a half, he wore a Houston Astros shirt. As a New Yorker.
First of all, I never wore a Houston Astros shirt.
Yeah, every day for a week
Never
and a
did.
half, let me troll the Yankees. Let me wear an Astros shirt.
I never, ever wore a Houston Astros shirt.
Every day for a week and a half,
I wore a
you
shirt
did.
that happened to resemble the colors of the
Yeah,
Astros,
yeah,
but
yeah.
there was no MLB logo on it. Not a one. Not a one. So I am innocent. I am
Listen,
clean. Your
You're either
accusations
marching in
are
a
false.
parade or trolling Yankee fans. You pick which one. Don't matter to me.
I happen to have a very comfortable shirt
do
that
know you're-
coincidentally had the same color.
I know the name of your favorite ice cream place, too.
What's that?
I'm not telling you. Not on this show. I'll tell you off there. It's an actual name, too, but I ain't saying it.
Okay.
I've got career goals in mind, my friend. Let's get some calls. Big football weekend, having fun. I am rocking a City of Brotherly Love sweatshirt, though, no joke. And I put it out on Twitter. Enjoy that. Here's Nick in Franklin Square. Hey, Big Nick, what's going on, buddy?
What's going on, Craigie? How's everything going?
Doing good. Love the Big Nick energy.
That's it. Well, we got big energy coming up this Sunday, Jets versus New England. I got to agree with my boy Evan, though. I'm thankful for family first, and the Jet victory being first place is second. Sorry.
You're damn right. Because when do we ever get to say that at Thanksgiving? Usually on Thanksgiving, we try to make believe we didn't watch the first 11 weeks of the New York Jets season. We try to eradicate it from our memory. And yet here we are this season. And here's what's so crazy about Sunday. The fine line between winning and losing. First place, last place. First place, last place. They have got to win this freaking football game on Sunday in New England.
Right, because even though they'd still be over 500, the story would be that the New York Jets are in last place. And even though they'd still be a wild card team, postseason-wise, they'd still be in last place.
Here's the other thing, Nick. Besides being in last place, besides the frustration of losing that game, I would have a tough time trusting this team. Like, I think the Jets,
depending on how they lose.
Doesn't matter how they lose.
Well, it does to me.
No, it doesn't. They lose any way possible. We're all disgusted and we're freaking out, and it doesn't mean their season's over. Not saying it does, but our trust in this team would evaporate quickly.
Don't forget, the coin flip guy said they're going to lose this game and the next game and then run the table.
No, I understand, but let's say the corn flip guy is right, okay? That happens.
We're going to be pissed.
We won't be excited until they completed the wins in Minnesota and Buffalo, and that's 3 weeks from now.
To be fair, the minute they clinch the playoff spot, we'd be excited. Which probably wouldn't happen until then, but we're on the same page.
You see my point. Like, if they lose to the Patriots, it would take a lot to kind of regain the trust of what we're starting to build with this football team, which is that we think they're legitimately good.
Here's our sad reality. You're right about one thing in that little diatribe of yours I do agree with.
What's that?
No matter how they lose, if they lose the game, no matter how, Monday, it is going to be like sky is falling.
100%.
And all the goodwill they've built up. And to be fair, they've built up some goodwill, especially on the defensive side of the ball. Even Robert Saleh has earned some goodwill. It's all out the window.
Think about this. Let's put this in perspective, because sometimes the football season, it doesn't feel the same way as a baseball season where 5 games are played in 5 days. They've won 5 out of 6 games. So the one hiccup, really, since they lost the Cincinnati game in week 3, and Joe Flacco was still the quarterback, was the New England game. Was a game they should have won. Outside of that, Craig, they have found ways to win every single week. Some of which against lousy opponents, some of which against pretty good opponents.
Sure.
Sometimes in tough environments. They've won every game except for the mistake that they made against the Patriots 2 weeks ago, where we all agree, not blaming the refs, it was a self-inflicted Jet loss.
Yeah, 4 times. 3 interceptions and the John Franklin Myers roughing the passer. You take back that, they're up 17-3. The game's a wrap.
The Jets lost to the Patriots because of the Jets. It's the old Vince McMahon line. Who screwed Brett? Brett screwed Brett. The Jets screwed the Jets.
Yeah.
That's the reason they lost to New England. And if they can clean that stuff up, and I sort of have I have confidence that they will.
Yeah.
They're the better team.
Hey, did you see that Frontier Airlines is offering a $600 all-you-can-fly annual pass?
All you could fly?
Yeah. With 11 destinations. Ugh.
Only 11?
Well, I mean, what are the destinations?
Are you telling me or are you asking me?
Cleveland.
Is that one of them?
I think, it is.
You know what needs to be part of the destinations? See if you can notice the pattern. Kansas City, Buffalo,
You're funny.
Nashville, Baltimore. I need those cities specifically, Craig, and Miami potentially, on the list of cities that we could fly to.
You said Nashville?
I said Nashville.
You said North Carolina as a state or no?
Why would I say North Carolina?
Because you go there 3 times a year, every year.
I wasn't talking about that.
Yeah, but why wouldn't you?
Because I'm talking about the Jets.
Yeah, I'm saying, but as a family.
We drive to North Carolina, Craig. Very different.
My bad. That's right. That's right. So you're basing it around the Jet schedule or potential
I'm basing it
schedule?
on our playoff tour that you've agreed that we're going to take part of if the Jets make the playoffs. Every single playoff game we're going to be at.
Why?
Because that's what we do with Big Show Bob.
But we're doing a show there?
Yeah, we'll do a special Sunday show. Sure.
We will? We will?
Yeah, sounds good.
No, we won't.
Okay, I will.
Yeah, that's what I want to do. I want to go to Buffalo where they're importing snow like it's water in the desert.
What?
Yeah, like I came in today, they were already at 30 inches.
That's crazy.
No joke. They had like one of them 3-meter sticks, whatever the heck it is, and the guy like wrote, like you do your kids as they get taller.
Yeah.
Yeah, when I came in, so it's more than that, they were getting 2 inches an hour, and they were at 30. So they got to be near 3 feet.
And you know what's crazy? Did you realize that the Bills have not left town yet?
Oh, I thought they did. They didn't?
No, they're still there.
Well, maybe they can't get out.
Half the team lost power. They had to cancel like Zoom meetings. They had to cancel practice.
Don't you think there's couldn't you make an argument that you shouldn't move the game because it robs the Bills of the home field advantage that they would enjoy, which is why they have an open-air stadium?
Well, I think there's a lot of reasons football-wise where they shouldn't move the game,
You
but
follow what I'm
ultimately,
saying?
of course, I mean, it's very simple. Why would you want to lose a home game? I agree with you. But I think the excuse that we always hear, and it's more than an excuse, I get it, is every single resource needs to go to the people of Buffalo and not to staging a football game. So while I'm disappointed and sort of angry, and I don't think this would have happened 35 years ago, it's very difficult to argue with the logic of let's protect the people
No,
of
listen,
Buffalo.
public safety comes first. Public resources need to go to the people, not to a stadium. Listen, we agree with all that stuff. Well, there's two things I feel like we as regular, average, everyday fans are being robbed of. Just the image. The image of
I
a
agree.
football game
Yeah.
in 5 feet of snow, however they clear the field or don't clear the field, whatever it is, would be memorable
We
for the
love
rest
it.
of our lives.
We all want it. We all
Yeah.
love it because football to us is a television show. But to the actual city that's hosting the game,
Well, that's the flip side, right.
I understand the difficulties of it.
Like, they're going to be shut-ins who are in trouble. There's going to be, like, roofs that are caving in. Power is already out in a lot of places, obviously. But there is an aspect where the Bills could have made us think about, hey, let the Buffalo politicians worry about the people. This is why we didn't put a dome on our stadium.
But you know what, Craig? I think there were two things that really screwed the Bills' ability to have this game at home. They couldn't move it back to Monday or Tuesday because of Thanksgiving.
Right.
That's number one. Because if you remember during the pandemic, we had games moved to Monday, Tuesday, even a Wednesday. It was doable. The other thing is you don't have the bye week possibility. It's not like both teams have a bye week coming up that they share. So they have no choice. They need to play the football game on Sunday. They can't play it in Buffalo. What are you going to do?
Yeah. By the way, do you know what anniversary today is, Big Mac? Take your time.
Yeah, no, not off the top
getting
of my
to the
head.
microphone.
I'm trying to think. Well, I was thinking before I spoke.
It is a significant anniversary in New York sports history.
Okay, so there's
ahead.
an anniversary I'm very much aware of.
Okay.
And I'm curious if you consider it New York sports history.
I do.
Because it's centered around a guy that didn't play in New York, unless we're thinking about different things.
Or we're thinking about the same thing, but you've made it this other guy's thing and not our thing.
Well, it's not our thing,
sure
dude.
it is. We caused it.
Oh, we are thinking about the same thing?
Yeah.
It's not about him. It's about the guy who never played football again.
No. It's about the guy that did it.
Really?
100%.
So you're making it about the guy who innocently, because you could see in the
Yes.
video, he was distraught about the...
So we're on the same page. That's right.
No, we're definitely on the same
Yeah,
page.
But you.
Well, me?
You.
Is it the...
How do you think that's not our thing? Of course it's our thing.
Is it our thing?
We did it.
We were a part of the thing, but
No,
isn't it more
we
about the...
are the thing.
It's more about the injury.
I disagree.
Really? I may have to put a poll up. I got to tell you.
You could pull up all you want. I'll tell you where you could put a poll.
Do you think these two geniuses have figured out what we're talking
if
about?
you haven't figured it out by now, they should both be relegated to weekend overnights.
I have it. Or I think I have it, I should say.
All right,
I
so
am
hold on.
relegated
Don't-
to weekend overnight.
Fair point.
I
Don't
do
say-
bridge shows.
All right, so I'm going to get Tommy go, but here's the deal.
Yep.
If you get it wrong,
Okay. It was a good run. Thanks. And
no,
I
I
appreciate
wouldn't
it. Oh,
fire
okay.
you right before Thanksgiving, but the Monday after.
Wait a week.
Yeah. So what do you think today's the anniversary of?
Joe Theismann getting injured and his career being over.
Interesting. I knew you were going to go there. Big Mac, what do you think it is?
Joe Theismann is career-ending injury.
I mean, wouldn't you have thought that there might be a different answer there, considering how I responded to his answer? Huh? No?
I did not. And plus, I'm not sure, so just being in the same boat,
So
I'll
if
just
he
take
hadn't said it, were you
whatever
going to
happens
say
to
it
him.
regardless?
No.
So what were you going to say if he hadn't said Theismann, if you don't mind me asking?
I was just going to pause and wait and hopefully end my suffering relatively quickly because I can't think of anything.
You really didn't know?
Really?
No.
And Evan, you are going, I assume, with Theismann as well? Or no? Now that Tommy has said it, I'm just asking the question.
We were just arguing for a minute, Craig.
Huh?
We just had an argument.
I'm just wondering.
I've already set up my poll question.
Is
Are
that
you kidding
right?
me? Yes.
Why am
Now-
I supposed to know this?
One
Nah,
might,
you should know this. I'm
you
sorry.
should know this. You should know
This is a mega moment in sports
Yeah,
history.
You should absolutely know
It's a
this.
mega moment.
Oh,
in
yeah.
sports
Mega moment.
history.
I would argue, Craig, maybe one of the most famous injuries.
Oh, you're going injury. Okay, fine, sure. Just give it away.
Well, I gave it away.
You guys said
You
injury
gave
3
it away.
times.
How do you know I wasn't talking about the 1949 announcement that Jackie Robinson was the MVP?
What?
That happened today. as a Brooklyn Dodger. Maybe you guys all forgot about that. Broke the color barrier, was MVP in 49. That's not what we're talking about, though. We're talking about Joe Theismann. Good job, Tommy. Joe Theismann had his leg broke by Lawrence Taylor. How is that not a Giants moment?
Because it's more about Theismann.
I disagree.
Joe Theismann is a former MVP, a Super Bowl quarterback whose career ended on that play.
No, you're 100% wrong.
Thank you.
Well, who?
Thank you.
You're 100% wrong.
Who's wrong?
It's
Thank
a
you.
Lawrence Taylor Giant moment.
That's correct. Thank you, Big Mac.
Really?
100%.
That is a Giants
All right,
moment in
I'm
history.
putting out the poll. Tell me
Go
if
ahead,
this
you're
is
gonna
fair.
lose this embarrassingly.
No, if I lose, I lose.
Okay.
I would accept it.
I appreciate that.
What is the Lawrence Taylor hit of Joe Theismann more about? LT or Theismann?
The fact that you worded it, the Lawrence Taylor hit, tells you all you need to know.
Yeah, but it ended Joe Theismann's career.
Yeah, I understand that, but it's more about how amazingly
Craig,
fast.
I'm arguing. I just want to put this on record.
Yeah.
I'm arguing with a guy who not only had no idea what the event was,
Yeah, that it was today.
said on the radio 24 hours ago,
Yes.
F the Giants winning a Super Bowl,
Yeah.
just bring me back Aaron Judge.
did.
Does my opponent in this argument have any credibility,
He
Craig?
does
Of
because
course
he's
I
on
do.
my side.
Yes.
Yes, he does. I don't like the way you worded it, but go ahead, put it out.
Well, how
It's
should
all
I
good.
word it, though?
I don't know. I don't know.
How should I word it?
No, you worded it just fine to lose.
You think I self-sabotaged
All
this?
right,
Self-saboteur.
put it up.
What is
Put
the
it out.
Lawrence Taylor of Joe Theismann more about? LT
You
or Theismann?
put him first
Right.
in the comments.
So if I said,
you're
what is-
calling it the play,
Right,
you're
you
calling
didn't
it the
say
Lawrence
the
Taylor
Joe
hit.
Theismann broken leg play. You
No.
called it the LT play.
That's true. Let me
Of
fix
No,
that.
no,
you
you
did.
can't fix it now because then you're trying to jade the outcome. You
All
can't
right,
do
fine.
that.
I put it out there. I worded it horribly. I would
Yeah.
be fired by any polling company. And let's just see. Let's see how
And
well
I
I
don't
do.
know. I don't know if this lends any credibility to the argument, but the movie The Blind Side, the opening scene of that movie is this play. When they're trying to talk about how Lawrence Taylor changed the game and how
Yeah.
important left tackles are, the play they used was this play.
No, I
Right, but it's
understand
about the
what-
left tackle on
No,
the
it
Redskins.
wasn't.
Yes, it
That's
is.
not
It's
his
about
argument. His
protecting
argument's
Joe
about Joe
Theismann.
Theismann.
It's about
I'm
Joe
talking about how
Theismann.
you can't block Lawrence Taylor. That's what it was about.
But we're not talking about some no-name who suffered an injury. Because if that was the case, I feel bad saying this, you guys would be right. We're talking about a guy who changed the nickname or changed the pronunciation of his last name.
Yes.
To rhyme with Heisman.
Well, Notre Dame did that, and he only did it with his grandmother's approval, but that
but
happened.
he still did it.
That's a true story.
And
His
he-
name was Theismann.
And he won a Super Bowl, and he won an MVP, and he's known. Like, people know who the hell he is.
And he's married
they
to
know,
Kathy Lee Crosby for a minute, too.
and they know that his career ended on an injury. Yes, it happened to be at the hands of the greatest defensive player in the history of the sport.
So put out the poll.
I did.
Okay. Early returns?
Oh, you want the early returns?
Yeah.
Why don't we wait a little bit?
Because
Why
you're
don't we-
losing. Because you're losing.
Nah, okay. Early returns are
It's all
actually
right.
no. I have early returns.
Yeah.
It's actually very close.
Really?
52% LT, so I am losing.
Okay.
48% Theismann with a couple of hundred
I'll
votes
see
early
how
on.
it goes like in the next half hour or so, okay?
Thank you.
All right, here's Eddie in East Islip. Eddie, what's good, Cookie?
Oh, before I get to my Jets point, I have to make a proposal here. We might have to change the name of the program to Roberts and Carton after this Philadelphia hoodie situation.
I agree.
I just don't understand where your head's at.
It's unforgivable, some may say.
Dude, it was our
Unforgivable.
nation's capital for 25 years.
Stop it.
Gosh, darn it. I mean, if that's your argument, then I can't argue with it. It's,
No
it
offense.
is what
No
it is.
offense. Let me ask you a quick question, Eddie.
Please.
You ever been to a sporting event before in your lifetime?
Okay. Yeah,
I'm
a
just-
couple, actually.
I'm just-
once or twice.
I'm just going to ask a couple questions if I
Very,
may,
very
right?
sarcastic.
All
Right?
right, so you've been to some sporting events, and before the event starts, is there any activity that takes place that you take great pride in as a fan or no?
Yeah, it depends on the sport. I mean, when I'm going to the Jets games, I like to tailgate. When I go to
Okay.
the Garden, I like to hit up Stout. When
Sure.
I'm on the road at a
Okay.
visiting park, I like to do
Fantastic.
what the locals do.
All right,
you
so
know.
let me ask you a question. So you do all that pregame stuff. You go into the stadium. You're in your seat before the game. The players are all standing. The helmets are off, and the announcer says something, and you participate in something. Is that correct?
Of course, I sing
What-
the anthem.
Oh, the national anthem. Is that right?
That is correct.
And while singing the national anthem, you are typically facing and showing homage to what tangible object?
Yes, the American flag.
Okay, and the American flag was sewn where?
In Philadelphia, Pennsylvania is going to be.
I win. Right.
Come on. That's what you go to.
I mean, listen, the shirt doesn't really say anything about the country. It says the city of brotherly love,
Right.
Philadelphia specific. I mean, most New Yorkers don't have an affinity for
By the
Philly,
way,
despite the fact that it was the nation's capital.
And here's
I
what's
don't love
interesting, Adam.
Washington, D.C., despite the fact that it's the nation's capital.
Exactly.
Here's what's interesting. The word Philadelphia ain't on this shirt.
The City of Brotherly Love is what they're known as. That's their nickname. And by the way,
nobody knows
without
that.
the Boston Tea Party,
Yeah.
we aren't around, or we are around, but we're not the same. Should we love Boston?
That's not entirely
Why
true.
is that not true?
Because the Boston Tea Party has been completely
It doesn't matter.
blown out of
By the
proportion.
way, it doesn't. It doesn't matter. The perception of it is what matters.
Okay.
And how it led us to say, you know what? We ain't going to put up with this crap anymore. We are going to take the British
That's right.
and we're going to turn their heads sideways. And you know what? Up the King's Derriere.
Okay, all right,
and
so-
we beat them.
Eddie, what do you got, buddy? Go ahead.
Yeah, I can agree, Craig. We agree on a lot. This one,
Yeah.
unfortunately,
That's
is never
okay.
going to win a lot of people over.
I know.
I diehard Jets fan, live and die with them. Love this year's team has been so much fun. Where I'm getting very lost though is where everybody keeps on talking about how we are better than the Patriots. We're the better team. We're better, but we have won one more game than they have. But are we a better offensive team? Their defense, if we look at the numbers and look who they played and look what they've done specifically against our team,
Right.
their defense has been better than ours. Their Vegas says that they're better than we are. So
Talent for
everyone's gotta
talent.
Pump the
Hit-
brakes. Like we haven't proven that we're
No,
good
no,
enough
I-
to go into any game to be like, oh well, we should win this game. We're the better team.
Ed,
I don't think that's happening.
Two different things. The Jets still have a lot to prove. 100%. I agree with you. They haven't beat the Patriots in a million years. They've underperformed when they play them. Can't argue that. Where I guess I'd argue with you on why I say the Jets are a better team is they're a more talented team. I look at the individual talent that the Jets have on defense. I even look at the weapons on offense.
Thanks, Eddie.
The Jets are better. Now, you have to translate that into wins,
Sure.
and I agree. They have to go out and prove it. The Jets haven't beaten the Patriots. They had a chance 3 weeks ago. They absolutely blew it. To me, that was on them. But the reason guys like me say we think the Jets are better, and why I think the Jets are better, is I think they are a more talented team. I think their corners are better. I think their defensive line is better. Matthew Judon is a beast, but overall, I love the Jet linebackers. I think they get more of a pass rush. I think the weapons on offense that Zach has compared to Mac Jones has, I think the Jets are better. I think they're a better football team. Now, what advantage do the Patriots have? You know what it is. We all know what it is.
The sideline.
The coach.
Yeah.
And that matters.
And it's tangible because there are games like this, the coaching does make a difference. Yeah, and I know it's maybe a bad comparison, but I think you saw last night how coaching impacts a game. The Green Bay Packers ran Aaron Jones 12 times last night. Like, what are we doing? It made no sense, right? And, you know, to be fair, Tannehill, other than that bad interception in the middle of the field, played a pretty damn good game. But they ran their best player 12 times.
And look, not everyone-
Like, if the New York Jets run the ball, I think they ran a total of like 17 times combined. And it was less than 20.
Are you talking about the Jets now?
No, the Packers.
Okay.
So my point is this. If the New York Jets don't run the ball more than 20 times, they're going to lose.
Well, no doubt. And one thing, and I know that we don't have Derrick Henry. Nobody does. Derrick Henry's a Hall of Fame player. But one thing about Derrick Henry, and I think this is the case with a lot of running backs in the NFL, you got to stick with it. You know Derrick Henry's numbers in the first halves of games. He's okay. He's all right. He'll wear you down as games go on. Now, I'm not suggesting that Michael Carter and James Robinson are Derrick Henry, but what I am suggesting is you've got to stick with the run to wear a defense out. And the Jets did that a week ago against Buffalo, 2 weeks ago. They didn't do it against New England. It's very, very important. And I guess that's where am I nervous? That's where I'd be nervous in this coaching staff. They are coming off a great performance against Buffalo, but are we going to see the other LaFleur stick with the run because they need to?
This is a fascinating turn of events here today, folks. We are 800 votes in, and it is 51-49 in favor of the play being more about Joe Theismann than Lawrence Taylor.
Wow.
Right?
What say you, bitch?
Well, what says me is slow your roll. Let the thing play itself
Well,
out.
no. I already won, and I'll tell you why.
Oh, because you haven't been blown out?
You predicted a blowout.
Yeah. I told you a million times, people like voting against me in
It has
polls.
not. Stop it.
That's what it is.
And by the way, here's why it's embarrassing that to even have this be close. most people who are voting are New Yorkers. That's most of the people that follow me on Twitter. You would think that there would be an inherent bias towards Lawrence Taylor and the New York Giants.
Or maybe we just have a very honest audience.
Honest audience, which means if you're honest, it's about Thiesman. That's his real pronunciation.
Yeah, but no one calls him that.
I know.
51-49. This is what's happening to New
Yeah,
York.
it doesn't make any sense.
We've gotten so snowflake soft.
How is that?
It's
Well,
embarrassing.
hold on. How are you framing this as soft or hard?
Because
Like, I don't understand.
if someone asks you a poll question, whether you're right or wrong, you say New York. That's always the answer.
Oh, okay.
Yes. It's more about Joe Theismann.
It is.
Who broke the leg? Let me ask you a quick. Well, no, it's not going to help.
I don't like your campaigning right now. You're basically saying if you vote Theismann, you're soft. That's what you're doing. That's your campaign strategy. Well, guess what? America's better than that. We don't get bullied into voting a certain way.
I'm going to give you an example that's going to
sometimes
I'm going to
we
give you an
do.
example that's going to backfire on me.
What?
But I want to acknowledge it's going to backfire on me.
Go ahead.
All right. When Johnny sweeps the leg, is it more about Johnny or about Daniel?
It's about Daniel.
It's hard to argue. I mean, I want to argue it, and I acknowledge it's going to backfire.
I got one.
But, like, it's a Karate Kid reference.
No,
by the
I
way.
watched Karate Kid.
Not sure if you're aware of
I
that.
got one, and this may backfire on me. I'm that fair. I want to
Okay,
give an
all
example
right.
now. When Roger Clemens beat Mike Piazza in the head,
Yeah.
was that more about Piazza getting
Yeah.
concussed
Right?
or Roger Clemens?
I think it was more about drugs. Yeah. Maybe on both sides. I don't know. But I will say this.
I'm running away with it, by the way.
You're
Joe
not running
Theismann,
away with anything.
53% of the vote now.
You're not running away with anything. We got plenty of time for New Yorkers to wake up after being bored to death all day and come back and actually start voting. All right?
Bored to death by whom?
Huh?
By who?
By their jobs, their bosses.
I thought you were ripping us for a second.
No.
Okay.
I think the radio station had a great day today.
Did it?
I mean, I only heard about 5 minutes of it, but it sounded good to me. Yeah, it sounded good to me. Was Tiki not here again today?
Teak was here.
I saw Tiki.
You guys saw Tiki?
Yep.
Yeah.
I didn't see Tiki.
He gave me a fist bump.
Oh, is that right?
Yeah.
What hand?
I don't remember.
You don't
Is
remember?
that important?
Well, what hand you give back is
Oh,
important.
I always give my left because I'm a
No,
lefty.
you always give your left. If he gives you the right, you give him the right.
Doesn't matter.
No, but it does.
Why would it matter?
Because it matters.
Give me a fist bump. Come on.
I'm not giving you a fist bump.
Well, I want to see what my reaction
No,
would be.
now
I'm
if you-
always going to go left.
If you fist first, I got to follow your lead. If I fist first, you have to follow my lead.
So you have to do the opposite
So-
hand of.
No. So if I come up to you in a fist bump, and I just put, it happens to be
You're
my
right.
right arm because I'm close to you with my right arm,
I'm giving you my left.
I don't do it. I don't accept it.
You'll take it back?
I don't allow you to fist bump me with the wrong hand.
Why?
Street rules.
And what makes that the wrong hand?
Evan, I don't ask the questions. I just follow the rules. That is a street rule.
I think these rules are stupid.
Okay, tell the person that says you better give me the right hand. Yeah.
Depends who's telling me
Yeah,
that.
tell Cabeza. Yeah. Hey, Cabeza, I do what I want with the fist.
I didn't know there were fisting rules.
Yeah,
This is
neither
new
did
to
I
me.
until I got fisted. Now I know all the rules. We got a pair of tickets for Sunday's game right after this.
Hold on.
Yeah?
I just have to insert this before Twitter does.
Go ahead.
Was that from Bubba a few years ago?
There you go. Thanks, Evan.
Sorry.
Appreciate that. No, it's great that we can laugh about it. While I'm crying on the inside.
Well, would you rather me do it or
I'm
some
good.
schmuck
Obviously,
on Twitter?
I know what direction that's going to go for some people, blah, blah, blah. As I'm rocking my City of Brotherly Love sweatshirt, I am going to take it off, not because I'm being bullied or want to take it off, but barbecue's an hour away. And I want to make sure when it shows up here, I'm ready to rock.
It would be a shame that if you take it off, if it just disappeared.
Yes,
That'd be a shame.
That would be a terrible
None
shame.
of us would want that to happen.
And I'm not worried about it.
Okay.
Not one little bit.
We'll see how loyal Loogie is to the city he loves or how loyal he is to his dictator.
I don't like the term dictator as much as I do Iron Fist leader. That's a better one.
I was going to go with uncle, older uncle.
No, because that's weird.
Is it?
That's like a Penn
Well,
State.
father figure would be weird,
That's better.
even though I do look up to you. But I think uncle is more.
I'm more like your daddy than I
No,
am
no, see,
your,
daddy
your
is-
fun uncle.
Hold on, daddy
Yeah.
is a derogatory.
Not at all.
You know what
Yes,
you're going
it
to say
is.
to Craig soon? You're going to say, "Scissor me, daddy."
Scissor me?
Oh,
was
scissor me,
that?
daddy.
That's it's a wrestling reference.
Yeah, I know what it is. I don't like it.
You don't know it's a wrestling reference.
It's like a lesbian thing, right?
No, it's a wrestling reference from the Acclaimed, the current reigning and undisputed AEW Tag Team Champions, who will be competing tomorrow night at Prudential Center. Will be in the building.
Evan, why don't you scissor Craig right now, just so he can see what you mean by that?
That's
fine. It's all above board.
That is a girl-on-girl thing.
No, it's a wrestling. It's a wrestling.
I'm out. And for that reason, I'm out.
Yeah.
Okay? Scissor me.
We just did a whole segment on fisting and scissoring.
I'll scissor Evan during the break.
Scissor
I hope
you.
you're aware of this.
WFAN in the 2000s. Some guy sent Fran Seska a note today on Twitter going, Mike, does it change the story of your career that a guy as bad as Carton's also number one in afternoons? Like, that's kind of a backhanded attack, right?
Wow. He didn't respond to
He
that,
didn't.
did he?
He did not respond. I thought it was pretty funny, though. I did.
How'd you take it? You didn't take it as a rip of yourself?
Me? Listen, I don't care. We are number one, and everyone listens. That's all I care about.
That's all that matters, right?